Welcome to TVC News at 4. We'll begin with updates from India, where President Bola Tinubu arrived Delhi for the G20 Leaders Summit and other engagements. The presidential jet touched down at the Indira Gandhi International Airport, Delhi, at about 6:40 p.m., which is 2:10 p.m. Nigerian time. The president was accompanied by some senior government officials, including ministers and presidential aides. President Tinubu has a number of high-level meetings and engagements with other world leaders and business executives on the sidelines of the summit. The president will also meet with the Nigerian community in India. Special advisor to the president on media and publicity, Ajuri Ngelale, had earlier disclosed that President Tinubu intends to attract global capital and increased foreign direct investment to the country through the meetings and engagements. Here in Lagos, the screening of the 18 commissioner nominees forwarded by Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu to the State House of Assembly for clearance is underway. The 12-member ad hoc committee of the House commenced the process at exactly 2 p.m. today. Out of the 18 names presented to the lawmakers, 12 are being screened today, while the remaining 6 nominees will have their date with the committee on Wednesday. Recall that the State Assembly earlier rejected the 17 of nominees sent by Governor Sanwo-Olu for undisclosed reasons, after which the governor forwarded a new list of 18 nominees. Some of the nominees whose names were earlier rejected are also being screened by the screening committee. Let's now talk about the nationwide strike by the Nigeria Labour Congress. The NLC today commenced its 2-day warning strike to protest what it called government inability to alleviate the suffering of Nigerians after the removal of petrol subsidy. In Abuja, the Federal Secretariat is devoid of its usual crowd, although some civil servants are seen at their desks carrying out their official duties. The federal government on Monday appealed to the NLC to shelve its planned strike, stating that government is determined to strengthen the nation's economy and end the hardship being faced by the people. Here in Lagos, the Nigeria Labour Congress has shut down the Nigerian Port Authority in compliance with the 2-day warning strike. All activities have been put on hold as maritime workers ensure the warning strike is complied with. Although the Trade Union Congress opted out of the warning strike, the NLC is monitoring compliance at various locations. In Ondo State, workers partially observed the 2-day warning strike declared by the Nigeria Labour Congress. Some workers ignored the Labour Congress and reported to their duty posts following the directive of the state head of service. This forced the leadership of the NLC to enforce the strike by storming some offices around the state to ensure compliance. Some of the offices visited are the Ministries of Agriculture, Health, Education, among others.
We are talking about the national, the NSC national, and they have given directives to every affiliated union to do the needful. And I believe the affiliated unions have directed their members to commence that warning strike, that 2-day warning strike, since day before yesterday. So asking them to come back because you pay their salary is uncalled for. It's uncalled for. When a conductor is ready to conduct, disallowing it to do it is annoying. And if a conductor is not ready to conduct, forcing that conduction to conduct is annoying too. So he's forcing those conductions to conduct now, and it's annoying.
The coalition of northern groups says it will be on the lookout to ensure governors, especially in the region, distribute the palliatives provided by President Bola Tinubu to the masses to cushion the hardship caused by the removal of fuel subsidy. The Northern Pressure Group says it will not allow the elite to go away with what is meant for the poor, as Nigerians are already going through very hard times. Theophilus Darufai reports.
Nigerians are experiencing hike in the price of food items, transport fares, and other commodities as a result of the removal of the fuel subsidy. This is why the Tinubu-led federal government had in August this year approved 5 billion naira palliative for the 36 states of the Federation and the Federal Capital Territory to help reduce the impact of the removal of fuel subsidy. The coalition of northern groups wants state governors to justify the funds disbursed by ensuring the palliative gets to the masses. The group is not prepared to fold its arms and watch the elite take away what belongs to the poor.
Let the state governors know that, in fact, this time around, it's not only the elite, but even the masses are fully aware that 5 billion naira was given to each state for palliatives. Let them know that CNG will never rest. We will not sleep. We will not even slumber until we make sure that each and every state distributed the palliatives to their responsibilities to their people. And these palliatives are going to be redistributed not only to the elite, but to the masses, to the downtrodden. We will not rest. We will be strong. We will be firm. We will join shoulders with each and every good citizen of this country to ensure that this country, not only the northern part of the country, is promoted toward a positive change in the country.
On insecurity ravaging parts of the north, the coalition of northern groups appeals to governors and other agencies concerned to rise up to their responsibilities of protecting lives and properties of citizens.
That the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria stipulated in Chapter 2, Section 2, that the main purpose of governance everywhere in this country is security and welfare of our people. To protect and to give the welfare to our people, to protect the life and properties of our people is not a privilege, but it's mandatory.
It thanks President Bola Ahmed Tinubu for providing palliatives to help the masses, urging Nigerians to support government efforts to fix the challenges the country is experiencing. Faithless Darufai, TVC News, Gusau.
The Acting Inspector General of Police, Kayode Egbetokun, has ordered the posting and redeployment of 7 DIGs to various departments. According to a statement by the Force Public Relations Officer, Moyowa Adejobi, DIG Balashi Roma has been redeployed to head the Department of Finance and Administration, DIG Frank Mba to the Department of Training and Development, while DIG Habusani is to head the Force Intelligence Bureau. The IGP charged the newly posted and redeployed senior officers to entrench professionalism in their respective departments, commands, and formations, while prioritizing human security and people-centric policing services. Similarly, the IGP approved the posting of Assistant Inspectors General of Police to the commands and formations of the force. The federal government says it is yet to receive any formal request from the family of the late designer of the Nigerian national flag, Taiwo Akinkunmi, to immortalize him. Minister of Information and National Orientation, Mohammed Idris, revealed this while addressing journalists after paying a courtesy call on Oyo State Governor Seyi Makinde to commiserate with the people over the death of the national hero. Olaide Oyewole has more.
A few days ago, Nigerians received the news of the demise of the designer of the national flag, Taiwo Akinkunmi, who died at the age of 87. Following this development, the Minister of Information and National Orientation is in Ibadan to commiserate with his family. While at the residence of the late octogenarian, he revealed that the visit was on the order of President Bola Tinubu, who wants to assure the family and Oyo State as a whole that he shares in their pain following the death of the icon.
It's for all of us to come together, to live in peace and unity, and to also develop programs for Nigeria's prosperity. That is the message that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has asked that we bring to the people of Oyo State and to the family of Akinkunmi.
Earlier, the minister paid a courtesy visit to the office of the Oyo State Governor, where he was received by the Deputy Governor of the state, Adebayo Lawal, and other top government dignitaries in the state.
And I want to take the liberty of this visit again to extend to His Excellency the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Ahmed Bola Tinubu, that both the family and the good people of Oyo State appreciate this kind gesture of condolence to the people of Oyo State.
The minister, while addressing newsmen, said the decision whether the government would immortalize or give him a state burial would depend on the request by family members of the deceased.
Well, the federal government is yet to receive that request formally, but I assure you that because of this, the standing of the deceased, the federal government will look into any request that the family has forwarded to the federal government and will revert.
The minister's visit symbolizes a gesture of support and respect for the national icon during this time of mourning by the family. Olaide Oyewole, TVC News, Ibadan.
The National Assembly Election Petition Tribunal, sitting in Ikeja, Lagos State, has affirmed the election and return of candidate of the Labour Party, Okejo Onwa Kalusi, as a member representing Oshodi Solo Constituency 2 at the House of Representatives. The three-member tribunal headed by Justice Abbas Abdullahi held that the petitioner Ganiu Johnson of the All Progressives Congress lacks the legal right to meddle into the conduct of a political party which he isn't a member of, nor an aspirant. The other members of the tribunal are Justices Okon Okon and Esther Aloku. INEC had declared Mr. Onwa Kalusi the winner of the 25th of February 2023 election after he polled the highest votes cast, totaling 29,386, followed by Mr. Johnson, who polled 16,650 votes.
God has given a judgment, and we appreciate the court for the industry puts into this kind of work, considering the timeline that they needed to give these judgments. And the next thing for us is to advise our clients in accordance with the law, because he has the right of appeal that he has to do within 21 days. So that will be his call. We can advise him on that, and if he wishes to appeal, he appeals.
So on two scores, he lost, but then the APC candidate decided to base his position on the supposed victory of the Chiagozie person. Interestingly, that Chiagozie's, the primary Chiagozie participated in Lagos was organized by the State Executive Council of Labour Party, which under the law cannot be the valid organ of the party to conduct a primary election.